I'm Gregory Beattie. I work for IDG Security Global, and we're a global security provider. The company itself was actually founded with a mandate to try and support humanitarian and development agencies working in complex environment to try and increase security for them. So ICoCA actually fits very well with the mandate of IDG in general. The challenges that a company like IDG faces to perform responsibly are multifold, to the extent that we are working in complex conflict environments often. We're also facing the reputational challenges, which have been impacted through many years of poor practice in some cases by some organisations. But specifically for us, one of the things that we actually look at is the malpractice around the tendering processes and contracting. Often we're trying to go through competitive processes in order to win a contract, and we also, as a responsible security company, want to provide the best duty of care and welfare for our staff. But sometimes those contracts from quite notable clients and governments and UN agencies that we've been working with sometimes force you to explore options where you're not working to best practices. So we've actually had to refuse a lot of contracts on that basis. The big part of it is often that they're trying to force you to reduce your price as much as possible, and the only real key area that you can reduce the price in is where most of your overheads are, is with manpower. So you have to reduce the salaries to the extent where it's either not providing good salaries for the people who are working in challenging environments, or you have to potentially increase the number of hours in which they're working. ICoCA can help to address those challenges by potentially providing advocacy at higher levels within governments and potential client bodies. It can also potentially provide the whistleblowing function, where poor practices can be challenged and identified early on. Responsible security companies can provide value add to humanitarian and development organisations by providing security service provision in the complex environments in which those organisations and agencies are working. Unfortunately, what we've seen over many years now of operating in those sorts of environments to provide essential aid and support to vulnerable communities is that the people themselves who are providing that aid are often targeted. The way in which IDG operates is that we try to provide as much care and support and safeguarding for those aid workers and development workers. There's a number of ways in which we go about doing that, but primarily it's through sort of man-guarding type activities, and also potentially other areas of support, including risk assessments and some contextual analysis to try and develop a better understanding in which the environments we're working. And also a big part of what I think is important is it's developing that acceptance piece. It's so important to develop your acceptance within local communities. Those are the people that you're often recruiting from, but it's also developing your contextual understanding. And ultimately, the more you can understand the context, the better you can understand the threats, and the more mitigation measures you can put in place to try and keep humanitarian development workers safe.